If you're doing all the right things and still feel wiped out, you're not lazy. Something in your routine may be draining you. A lot of habits that look healthy on paper can quietly push your body into a constant state of stress. And when that happens, your energy doesn't just dip, it becomes unreliable. In this video, we'll walk through 7 common healthy habits that can backfire and leave you exhausted. The goal isn't to stop being healthy, it's to make your habits actually support your sleep, hormones, mood, and stamina. As we go, notice which one sounds like you, because the fix is usually a small adjustment, not a full lifestyle overhaul. We'll also talk about what to do instead, so you can keep the benefits without the burnout. Let's start with the most common trap: doing too much exercise too often with too little recovery. Moving to slide 2. Habit number 1 is overtraining, especially when your workouts are intense and frequent. Exercise is healthy, but it's also a stressor your body must recover from. If you stack hard sessions, HIIT, heavy lifting, long runs, without enough rest, fatigue can accumulate. You might notice sore muscles that linger, a higher resting heart rate, irritability, or sleep that feels light even if you're in bed long enough. Some people also see cravings spike because the body is trying to replace energy fast. The fix isn't stop exercising. It's to balance stress and recovery. Keep a couple of hard workouts, but add truly easy days. Think walking, mobility, light cycling, or a shorter session that leaves you feeling better than when you started. Also, plan at least one full rest day each week. Progress comes from the recovery phase, not the suffering phase. Moving to slide 3. Habit number 2 is chronic undereating, often disguised as clean eating. You might be choosing high-quality foods, but not enough total energy. When calories stay too low for too long, your body adapts by conserving. That can look like low motivation, feeling cold, brain fog, and workouts that suddenly feel harder. Studies show low energy availability can affect thyroid hormones and reproductive hormones, and it can raise stress hormones in some people. Another clue is that you're thinking about food all the time, even if you're proud of your discipline. A practical approach is to check whether your meals are actually complete. Aim for protein, carbs, and fats, plus fiber. If you train, carbs matter for performance and recovery, and if your sleep is getting worse while you diet, that's not a willpower problem. Moving to slide 4. Habit number 3 is going very low carb when your life is already demanding. Low carb can help some people, but it's not universally energizing. If you're doing intense workouts, working long hours, or sleeping poorly, cutting carbs too far can feel like driving with the fuel light on. You might still function, but everything feels harder. Carbs support glycogen, which is the stored energy your muscles and brain like to use under stress. Some people also notice mood changes, more cravings at night, or waking up at 3 a.m., hungry or wired. A middle ground strategy is to time carbs around your needs. Put more carbs near workouts, or at dinner if you sleep better that way. Choose slower options like potatoes, oats, rice, beans, and fruit. The point is not carbs are good or carbs are bad. The point is matching fuel to your output. Moving to slide 5. Habit number 4 is relying on caffeine as a daily energy strategy. Coffee and tea can be part of a healthy routine, but they can also mask the real problem. If you use caffeine to push through poor sleep, skipped meals, or nonstop stress, you may end up in a cycle of wired and tired. Too much caffeine or caffeine too late can reduce sleep quality even if you fall asleep quickly. And when sleep quality drops, you need more caffeine the next day. A simple reset is to protect your caffeine window. Many people do better keeping caffeine to the morning and avoiding it within 6 to 8 hours of bedtime. Also, pair caffeine with food, especially if you feel jittery. If you're drinking coffee instead of eating breakfast, that can amplify fatigue later. Caffeine should be a tool, not a life support system. Moving to slide 6. Habit number 5 is hydrating with too much plain water while ignoring electrolytes. Hydration isn't just water. It's fluid plus minerals like sodium, potassium, and magnesium that help your nerves and muscles work properly. If you drink a lot of water, sweat often, or eat very low-sodium foods, you can feel tired, headachy, or lightheaded. This is especially common in people who exercise, use saunas, or drink water constantly to feel virtuous. You don't need to obsess, but you do need balance. One easy check is your thirst and your urine color. Constantly crystal clear can be a sign you're overdoing it. Another is how you feel when you stand up quickly. For many people, simply salting food to taste and eating potassium-rich foods like beans, yogurt, potatoes, and bananas helps. If you sweat heavily, an electrolyte drink can be useful. Moving to slide 7. Habit number 6 is a sleep routine that's perfect, but too rigid. Sleep hygiene matters, but some people turn it into a performance. If you're anxious about getting 8 hours, tracking every metric, or panicking when you wake up at night, that stress can keep you awake. Studies on insomnia show that worry about sleep can become part of the problem. A healthier approach is consistency without obsession. Keep a steady wake time most days, get morning light when you can, and use a wind-down routine that feels calming, not mandatory. If you wake up at night, the goal is to stay relaxed, not to force sleep. And if you occasionally sleep less, you can still have a decent day by adjusting expectations and getting back to your routine the next night. Good sleep is flexible. It doesn't break from one imperfect evening. Moving to slide 8. Habit number 7 is saying yes to every healthy commitment. Meal prep, workouts, steps, meditation, journaling, until your day has no breathing room. Even good habits cost time and mental energy. If your schedule is packed, your nervous system never gets a signal that it's safe to downshift. That can look like constant low-level tension, shallow breathing, and a feeling that you're always behind. And ironically, that stress can reduce the benefits of the habits you're trying so hard to maintain. The solution is to simplify. Pick your top 2 non-negotiables for this season of life. Maybe it's sleep and strength training, or daily walks and regular meals. Everything else becomes optional. Also, build in white space, 10 minutes between tasks, a slower morning, a real lunch break. Health isn't a checklist. It's a system that should make your life easier to live. Moving to slide 9. Now let's tie this together with a quick self-check, because the real skill is spotting which habit is draining you. Start with timing. When does your energy crash? Morning, afternoon, or evening? Morning crashes often point to sleep quality, late caffeine, or underfueling. Afternoon crashes can be meal balance, hydration, or an overstuffed schedule. Next, look at recovery signals. Are you getting sick more often, feeling sore for days, or losing motivation to train? That leans toward overtraining or too few calories. Then check your mood. If you're more anxious, more irritable, or unusually flat, consider low carbs for your workload or caffeine pushing your nervous system too hard. Finally, remember that stacking matters. One habit alone might be fine. 2 or 3 together can be the tipping point. Your goal is to remove the biggest drain first, then reassess for 2 weeks before changing something else. Moving to slide 10. Here's what a more energizing, healthy week can look like without becoming extreme. You train 3 to 4 times, but only 1 or 2 sessions are truly hard. You eat enough, and each meal has protein plus a real carb source, especially on training days. You drink to thirst, salt your food normally, and add electrolytes when you sweat a lot. You keep caffeine earlier, and you don't use it to replace breakfast. You keep a consistent wake time, but you stop treating sleep like a test you can fail. And you protect time in your schedule, because recovery isn't only physical, it's also mental. None of this is flashy, but it's reliable. If you've been stuck in exhaustion, the most powerful move is often subtraction. Less intensity, less restriction, less rigidity. Then your body has room to give you energy back. Moving to slide 11. Let's do a quick recap of the 7 habits. 1. Overtraining without enough recovery. 2. Chronic undereating, even if the food quality is great. 3. Going too low carb for your stress and activity level. 4. Leaning on caffeine to compensate for sleep, food, or burnout. 5. Drinking lots of plain water while ignoring electrolytes, especially if you sweat. 6. Turning sleep hygiene into a rigid, anxious routine. And 7. Stacking too many healthy commitments until your life has no margin. If you want the simplest next step, pick the one that felt most uncomfortable to hear. That's usually the one that's costing you the most energy. Adjust it gently and give it time. If fatigue is persistent, severe, or comes with symptoms like dizziness, shortness of breath, or sudden changes in weight or mood, it's worth discussing with a clinician to rule out medical causes. Moving to slide 12. If you want to make this practical, here's a simple 2-week experiment. Choose one lever, either add recovery, add fuel, or reduce rigidity. For recovery, swap one hard workout for an easy walk and add a full rest day. For fuel, add one balanced snack, like yogurt and fruit, or a sandwich with a real carb source. For rigidity, pick one rule you can loosen, like allowing a later bedtime once a week without anxiety. Keep everything else the same, so you can actually tell what helped. Write down 2 numbers each day, your afternoon energy from 1 to 10, and your sleep quality from 1 to 10. Patterns show up fast when you track just a little. If you found this useful, subscribe for more evidence-informed health breakdowns. And comment with your experience. Which drains you more? A. Overtraining, or B. Undereating? This information is not a substitute for medical advice.